This new TradingView indicator finds buy and sell signals using volatility and price action. Today, we will take a look at how to find and open up the indicator in TradingView. And we will also take a look at how you can change the settings to improve performance. I hope that sounds good, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. So the very first thing you want to do is to open up a clean chart in TradingView. I'm currently looking at the Bitcoin chart on a daily time frame. Now guys, we're ready to open up the indicator. So we go up here to the indicators tab, and what we want to search for here is chart prime in one word like this. And as you guys can see, Chart Prime has tons of different indicators that are popular and many of them are useful. But in this video, we want to go down here and find the indicator that is called channels with patterns. So let's open this one up. And as you guys can see, now trend channels will automatically appear here on the chart. You will also get signals for when the channels break. But to improve the indicator, we need to change a few settings. So let's go up here to the upper left corner and we want to press on the settings tab. The first setting we have to take a look at and understand is the preset setting. And this setting is actually amazing because the creator of this indicator have actually made a few presets. So if you guys don't want to change your settings on your own and prefer presets, you can actually use one of these. So for example, if you're trading stocks, you can use the stock preset. This right here are the preset settings for trading stocks. Feel free to pause the video if you want to, because now I want to take a look at the next preset, which is Forex. This right here is the preset settings for Forex. Once again, if you want to, you can pause the video. Last but not least, we have the preset settings for trading crypto. This right here are the settings. But if you guys want to change the settings on your own, you want to make sure to press the user preset right here. This will basically make it so that we can choose exactly the settings we want. And the settings I'm going to show you guys is actually very close to the crypto preset because we are on the Bitcoin chart right now. But I actually have a few different settings. As for the style here, you can use either wick or body. I'm going to use the wick for this preset. And as for the break style here, I'm actually going to use close. So we use candle closes here for when channels breaks. You can also see that we have the instant mode right here, and the instant mode allows for quicker signals here. However, they can be a bit more, insignificant, but I still think that many times this is a good trade-off because we want to have quick signals when we trade. So I'm going to choose the instant mode right there. The next setting we want to take a look at is the ATR settings. And first of all, we have the ATR length. The standard setting here for the ATR is 10, but what I usually do here is that I change it to 14, because if you are familiar with the ATR indicator, you know that the standard length for the ATR is actually 14. Changing it from 10 to 14 is not a very big change, but I think that 14 is often a good balance between responsiveness and smoothing. The offset center we can keep at 5 here. The size, you can also, if you're trading very volatile markets, you can actually increase the size here, but I'm going to keep the size at 4. Bitcoin is pretty volatile, but I do think that 4 is good here. You can also see that on the crypto preset, the size is also 4. So let's keep it at 4 right there. By changing the padding percent, we can actually change the sort of green and red areas at the top and bottom of the channels. And I actually like to decrease this one by a bit. I'm going to choose 25 here. So we get sort of, in my opinion, this makes the chart more clear and easier to read. As for the pivot points, you can of course mess around a bit here, but I'm going to keep it at 10, 15. And the smoothing, I'm going to keep at 18. The next setting is the candle pattern setting. And this is a very good addition to the, earlier version of this indicator. Because here we can actually choose to get additional signals other than simply when the channels break. So we can, for example, use the hammer pattern. We can use the inverted hammer, which is basically the opposite here. And we can also enable the bullish engulfing pattern and bearish engulfing pattern. And all of these patterns are, pretty common patterns, reversal patterns. And I personally recommend that you have all of these checked because why not? These are all good patterns. I will later on in the video show you guys how you can actually get even more of these signals, but for now let's just keep them as they are. The rest of the settings is mostly, changing the appearance of the indicator. And I like the appearance from the beginning, so I'm just gonna keep everything as they are. And you can also see that here in the bottom, you have many different alerts you can use for the indicator. Perhaps you only want alerts when, channels break, then you uncheck everything except for, breaks of new channels. But you might also get alerts for, when new channels are created, or perhaps when you get the candlestick patterns as well. This is completely up to you guys and depends on your own trading style. But now guys, we're ready to go down here and press OK. So now then, how do we actually use the indicator? Well, the indicator is very simple and straightforward. As you can see here on the chart, the indicator will automatically plot trend channels, which is basically an area here in between a support level and a resistance level. And there are many different ways to trade using this indicator. One such way is to trade breakouts, so to trade breaks of channels. You can see, for example, right here we have a strong breakout from the channel, and this is actually something I'm looking out for when I see breakouts of channels. First of all, we want to see a very strong candle close above the resistance. But what I also usually look out for is that I always want to look out for the market structure. So we want to look left here, look left on the chart, and see if this break right here broke some significant market structure. In this case, one could definitely argue that you can see right here, we had some sort of resistance, right? If we look at the price right here, maybe not the most clear resistance, but you can see that the price struggled here at least 3 times, not too significant in my opinion, because the drops here was not that strong, but one could definitely argue that we had some kind of resistance right here. Looking a bit to the right here, we can see that the price once again got rejected one time. We saw some small hesitation right here as well, a combination between the historical resistance as well as the channel resistance, and then we saw the breakout right here. So for multiple reasons, this right here was a good breakout signal and could be used as a long position right there. However, not all signals will be good. As with all indicators, they are very seldom, perfect indicators. For example, we will have some breakouts that are very, small. You can see, for example, if you look at this breakdown signal right here, you can see that the candle of this breakdown was a very small, pretty insignificant candle. So I would have not taken this trade, even though this break was the beginning. You can see it was the beginning of a long trend towards the downside. This was still not a strong, really a strong breakdown at all. We also have these signals that happens at the resistance and support levels. So for example, right here, you can see that we have a bearish engulfing pattern coming in at a resistance level. And you can see that after this engulfing pattern, we saw a strong drop towards the downside. So that is definitely something you can look out for. And for example, right here, we pretty much have the opposite, right? We have a bullish engulfing pattern coming in at the support level. These ones can be used as buy signals. But once again, guys, what we always look out for here on the channel, we want to look out for the market structure in general as well to support our trades. Last but not least, guys, I want to give a little tip here on how you can get even more of these candlestick pattern signals when you combine it with the indicator. To do that, we want to once again head up to the indicators tab. And what you want to search for here is star all candlestick patterns. And this is an indicator we have been talking about a lot on the channel because I really like the simplicity and usefulness of this indicator. And by the way, if you don't find the indicator when you search for all candlestick patterns, you may want to try to search for this in your own language because some people have trouble finding this indicator. But what you then do is that you basically open up the indicator right here. You go up to the settings tab for the indicator. So you press settings right here. And here on the settings tab, you can see that we have so many different candlestick patterns. And by checking these boxes, you can, take away or, you know, make the patterns appear. So this is basically just a short tip on how you can get even more signals. But alright guys, so to make this indicator work even better, I think it's super important to really learn and really understand support and resistance. So if you guys have the time today, I highly recommend all of you guys to watch this video next.